Hey everyone, and welcome to Decoding Molecules, Chemistry's Digital Revolution. I'm Jay, your host for today, and I'm joined by Tyla, our expert in this fascinating world where chemistry and computing meet.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for the warm welcome, Jay. I'm really excited to unpack all of this with you today.
Yeah, so get ready to, forget about those bubbling beakers because we're going to be talking about algorithms and designing molecules and reactions and all that data.
It really is mind-blowing how technology is just changing the way that chemists explore the molecular world. It's incredible.
So, Tyla, before we really get into it, can you give us just a super quick overview of why computers are so essential for chemists now?
Yeah, sure. It boils down to, I'd say, three main areas. Data management first. So chemists generate a ton of data, obviously, from all their experiments and simulations and databases, and computers can help them organize and analyze and make sense of all that data.
So it's like having a research assistant, but way more efficient and never gets tired.
Exactly. And then, there's the power of chemical modeling. So computers can simulate reactions, they can predict molecular properties, they can visualize these structures without needing to actually conduct experiments.
That's incredible, like a virtual lab.
Exactly. Saves a ton of time and resources. And then let's not forget about automation. Computers can handle those repetitive tasks like calculating molecular weights or, monitoring those reactions. And that frees up the chemist to focus on the bigger picture.
Makes sense. It's like that lab assistant that never makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So what kind of computer stuff do chemists need to know these days? What do they need to work with?
Well, just like any computer user, I guess they need to understand the basic hardware. The CPU, the brain of the operation needs to be powerful enough to handle all those complex calculations.
So it's all about processing speed.
Exactly. And then there's RAM, like short-term memory. The more you have, the bigger the data sets and calculations you can work with.
Like a big workspace for your computer.
Precisely. And for storing all those massive data sets and software programs, a fast and reliable SSD is essential. But beyond the hardware, it's the software that truly empowers these chemists. They use a whole suite of specialized tools, each designed for, specific tasks.
Okay, so let's get into those tools. Can you walk us through some of the key players in the computational chemistry software world?
Absolutely. Let's start with chemistry drawing software. So these are the tools that allow chemists to, create those beautiful and precise representations of molecules that we see in textbooks and research papers.
Perfect. So we're unlocking the digital drawing board.
Yes, exactly. One of the most widely used is ChemDraw. It's kind of like the industry standard for creating 2D chemical structures.
So if I wanted to draw caffeine, I'd just open ChemDraw and start clicking and dragging.
Pretty much. ChemDraw makes it really easy to draw those single and double bonds and rings and aromatic structures and all that. You can insert functional groups, add labels, even generate those IUPAC names and molecular formulas.
It's like a virtual chemistry set right there on your computer.
Exactly. But ChemDraw isn't the only one out there.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
There's also IsisDraw, known for its simplicity, and it's often used for building chemical databases. And there's ChemSketch, a really popular choice for both 2D and 3D drawing. So you can convert those 2D sketches into 3D models and visualize them from different angles.
Wow. So now we're talking about 3 dimensions, like holding the molecule in your hand.
Precisely. And with ChemSketch, you can even predict some of the molecule's physical properties like density or boiling point.
So it's not just pretty pictures. You're actually gaining some insights into how those molecules would behave in the real world. This is incredible. It seems like these programs give chemists a whole new way to see and understand molecules. What about those 3D models that you mentioned? Where do those come into play?
Well, 3D molecular modeling, that's where it gets really exciting. It's like stepping inside the molecule and exploring its inner workings. There are several software programs that can let you do that. One is Chem3D, a companion to ChemDraw, so you can import those 2D structures and transform them into 3D and optimize their geometry and predict their energy and even perform some basic simulations.
So you can start to see how the molecule might behave in different environments.
That's right. And then for those looking for a powerful open source option, there's Avogadro.
Avogadro, the multitasking.
It really is. With Avogadro, you can build molecules from scratch, import structures, run simulations, even perform quantum chemical calculations. It's a very versatile tool for both teaching and research.
That's fantastic that such powerful tools are accessible to a wide range of users.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned Gaussian which sounds like a different beast altogether. What makes it so special?
Yeah, Gaussian is a high-level computational chemistry software package known for its accuracy and versatility. Researchers around the world use it for some of the most demanding calculations in chemistry. So think predicting molecular energies, molecular orbitals, electron distributions, and a whole lot more.
Wow, it sounds like Gaussian can unlock some serious molecular secrets. But with all this talk about software and simulations, I have to ask, do chemists still need to do experiments in the lab? Has the computer replaced the test tube?
That's a question a lot of people have, and the answer is no. Computational chemistry is a powerful tool, but it's not a replacement for experimental work. It's more like a powerful partnership.
Ah, they complement each other.
Exactly. Computational methods can help guide experimental design, predict outcomes, interpret results, and experimental data in turn is essential for validating those computational models, making sure they reflect reality. It's a beautiful synergy.
So computers are enhancing the work that chemists do, not replacing them.
Precisely. They're expanding the chemist's toolkit, allowing them to explore the molecular world in ways never before possible.
Can you give us a few real-world examples of how this is happening? How is computational chemistry being used to solve problems that affect us all?
Of course, let's start with drug discovery. Computational methods are now routinely used to design and optimize new drugs. So researchers can use computer models to screen millions of virtual compounds for their ability to bind to a specific target, like a protein involved in a disease.
So it's like running a virtual clinical trial before even setting foot in a lab.
Exactly. And this can save tremendous amounts of time and money in the drug development process.
That's amazing. What about material science?
That's another area where computational chemistry is making a huge impact. Researchers use computer simulations to design new materials with specific properties like strength or flexibility or conductivity.
So they can essentially engineer materials at the molecular level.
Precisely, imagine lighter and stronger materials for cars and planes, or more efficient solar cells, even self-healing materials.
Wow, the possibilities seem endless. What about energy?
Computational chemistry is playing a critical role in developing new energy sources. It's used to design more efficient catalysts for fuel cells, improve battery performance, even develop new methods for capturing and storing carbon dioxide.
So it's contributing to a more sustainable energy future.
Absolutely, computational chemistry is helping us address some of the most pressing challenges facing our planet.
It's incredible how something as abstract as computational chemistry can have such a tangible impact on our lives. But you mentioned earlier that experimental work is still essential. Can you elaborate on that? Why is that interplay between computation and experimentation so crucial?
A lot of people think mistakenly that computational chemistry is about replacing experiments, and that's simply not true.
So it's not a competition.
No, not at all. It's more like a symbiotic relationship. They complement and strengthen each other.
They work best when they're working together.
Exactly. So first, experimental data is vital for validating computational models. We can build the most sophisticated computer models, but if they don't accurately reflect reality, they're not very useful.
So experiments provide the ground truth for those computational models.
Precisely. And second, computational methods can help guide experimental design. By simulating different conditions, we can identify the most promising avenues for experimental investigation.
It's like a roadmap for experiments.
Exactly. And third, computational methods can help us interpret those complex experimental results and extract meaningful insights from them.
It's like having a translator for the language of experiments.
You get it? Computational chemistry and experimental work are not in competition. They're partners in this quest for scientific understanding.
Two sides of the same coin, you need both to get the full picture.
Exactly.
It's clear that computers aren't just tools. They're changing how we think about chemistry.
That's a great way to put it. It's about using computers to extend our understanding of the molecular world and empowering chemists to do even greater things.
It sounds like a really exciting time to be in the field of chemistry.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I want to touch on one more category of software that we haven't discussed yet. Graph plotting and analysis software.
That's an important one. Chemists generate a lot of data, and visualizing and analyzing that data effectively is crucial. This is where programs like Origin or SigmaPlot or Igor Pro come in.
So these are the tools that create those graphs and charts that we often see in scientific publications.
Precisely. They allow you to create a wide range of plots, perform statistical analysis, fit curves to data, and a whole lot more.
So you can not only see the data, but also understand the underlying trends and patterns.
Precisely. Many of these programs also offer advanced features like data smoothing or error bar analysis or custom scripting.
Sounds like they've thought of everything, but with so many programs available, how do chemists choose the right one?
Again, it depends on their specific needs and the research question they're trying to answer, Origin is a popular choice because it's user-friendly and offers a wide range of features. SigmaPlot is great for those who need advanced statistical analysis, and Igor Pro is known for its flexibility and powerful scripting language.
So there's a tool for every type of chemist out there. But with all this high-tech software, does good old Microsoft Excel still have a place in the modern chemist's toolkit?
Absolutely. Excel may not be as flashy as some of the programs we've discussed, but it's still an incredibly valuable tool.
It's like the trusty old Swiss Army knife of data analysis.
You could say that it's readily available, it's user-friendly, and it's surprisingly powerful. Chemists use it for all sorts of tasks, from organizing data and performing basic calculations to creating simple graphs.
So while it might not be the tool of choice for complex simulations or quantum mechanical calculations, it's still a vital part of a chemist's everyday workflow.
Exactly. In fact, I'd argue that every chemist should be proficient in Excel.
I couldn't agree more. But how does Excel fit in with those more specialized programs? Do they work together or are they separate worlds?
They can work together beautifully. Many chemists use Excel as a starting point for their data analysis.
So they might use Excel to clean up their data, perform some basic calculations, and then export it to a program like Origin for more advanced analysis and visualization.
Exactly. It's a very common workflow. Excel is great for getting your data organized and ready for analysis, while those specialized programs provide the tools needed to dig deeper and extract meaningful insights.
It's like a tag team approach to data analysis. Excel handles the initial groundwork, and then the specialized programs take it from there.
You got it.
This is starting to make a lot of sense, but I'm still a little fuzzy on when you might choose Excel over a program like Origin and vice versa. Can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure, you choose Excel when you need a user-friendly interface for working with tabular data, doing basic calculations, or creating simple charts and graphs.
So Excel is the go-to for simplicity organization and quick visualizations. But when would we want to level up to a program like Origin?
You choose Origin or another specialized program when you need advanced graphing capabilities, in-depth statistical analysis, efficient handling of large data sets, or publication quality graphics.
So it's all about choosing the right tool for the job. Can you give us a real-world example of how these programs work together in practice?
Absolutely. Let's say a chemist is studying the kinetics of a chemical reaction. They've run their experiments. They've collected data on reactant and product concentrations over time. They might start by entering all that data into an Excel spreadsheet, using its built-in functions to calculate reaction rates and other parameters, even create a simple graph to visualize the reaction's progress.
It's like creating a first draft of their analysis.
Exactly. But to really understand the reaction kinetics, they might want to use a program like Origin. They could export their data from Excel to Origin and use its powerful curve-fitting tools to model the reaction and determine the rate law.
So they're taking the raw data from Excel and refining it in Origin.
Yeah, precisely. And they could use Origin to create publication quality graphs of their data much more visually appealing than the simple graph they created in Excel.
It's like taking their data analysis to the next level.
Exactly. And the beauty is that these programs work seamlessly together. Data can be easily transferred between Excel and Origin with no need to re-enter anything manually.
It's a perfect example of how different tools can complement each other to create a powerful workflow. This is incredibly insightful. It's clear that computers are revolutionizing chemistry.
It's an exciting time to be in the field with all these amazing tools. The possibilities for discovery and innovation are truly endless.
Yeah, it really feels like we're just at the beginning, a new era of chemistry. But before we get too carried away with all this, let's make sure everyone listening is walking away with the key takeaways. Tyler, can you help us distill the essence of what we talked about today?
Absolutely, Jay. So let's recap, I think, the three most important points. First, computers have become absolutely essential tools for chemists, impacting everything from data analysis to experimental design to those really complex molecular simulations.
It's really like the digital revolution is here.
Exactly. And second, there's a whole ecosystem of software programs out there, each designed for those specific functions. We talked about programs for drawing molecules, like ChemDraw programs for modeling molecules like Avogadro and Gaussian, and programs for plotting and analyzing data like Origin. And understanding what each tool does best is so crucial for choosing the right one for the job.
Yeah, it's like having all the tools but knowing which one to use.
Precisely. And third, even though it's not a specialized chemistry program, good old Microsoft Excel still holds a valuable place in the modern chemist's toolkit.
Yeah.
It's great for organizing that data and performing those basic calculations and creating simple charts. And it works seamlessly with those more specialized programs, allowing you to, prep your data in Excel and then export it for more in-depth analysis.
It's like the trusty sidekick to all those fancy programs. So we've got the power of computers and a whole diverse toolkit of software and good old Excel as that reliable workhorse. That's a lot to take in.
Hmm.
But Tyler, as our listeners continue to explore this world of computational chemistry, what's one big idea they should keep in mind?
That's a great question, Jay. I think the most important thing to remember is that computational chemistry is not just about using computers. It's about using computers to deepen our understanding of the molecular world.
So it's not just a tool, it's a way of thinking.
Exactly. It's about harnessing the power of computation to ask those new questions and explore new possibilities and ultimately make those new discoveries.
It's not about replacing chemists or those experiments. It's about expanding what's possible.
Precisely. And I think that's what makes this field so exciting. We're really just at the beginning of what's possible with computational chemistry.
Yeah, it sounds like a really incredible time to be a chemist. Well, Tyler, this has been an amazing journey into the digital heart of chemistry. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today.
It's been my pleasure, Jay. I'm always thrilled to talk about this fascinating field.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this exploration of computational chemistry. We hope you've gained a new appreciation for the power of computers to transform the world of chemistry. Until next time, keep those minds curious.